So this one, I thought we'd just go through kind of our 12 in, 12 out and talk about, you know, what we got right and what we got wrong
Hmm.
and where the discrepancies came in and then go through that Ricky
The flag pants, sleepers and busts. Yeah,
mhm,
gotcha.
yeah, with the ring around a rookie.
Do you want to
Just
do oh, I didn't write down the ring around rookie stuff.
see, I've got it all on a
I've
doc
got
here.
everything else. Like I've got the flag plants, sleepers and busts,
Oh
but
yeah, the ring around the rookie stuff was just one per round. It was you had Jaden Daniels, um, Marshawn Lloyd, and Ray Davis.
oh,
And
so
I
one of
had,
those sucked.
yeah, yeah. And I had Michael Thomas, um, Jalen Wright, and Bucky Irving. So,
Brant Brian Thomas?
yes. What did I say?
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas. Great. That's good. I gave myself food poisoning last night.
Oh no. Are you all
Yeah.
right?
So, yeah, we'll see.
I took a lease out on your heart. I took a lease out on your heart. Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun?
Welcome back, everybody. We are Rough Draft Research. You are the audience, and together we are on a quest for Dynasty Domination. How's it going over there, Daniel?
It's good. Happy sad, happy sad. Fantasy season is concluded. I probably my best year ever. Three first place, two
Hell
third
yeah.
place, the losers bracket championship. But
Hey,
it's been a hell of a run.
that's
I'm
awesome,
good. I'm
man.
feeling myself. How are you doing?
I'm good. I got some good draft picks.
I got some bad draft picks. That's the thing. I'm like, man, forget winning. Like, when do I
It's
need? I need to get the 1-3 or something in here.
it's the time to feel happy for good draft picks for sure, but could have gone better. Didn't win any chips. What's new? But we're back. We're here. Happy New Year, everyone. Hopefully you had a great uh, party or whatever you chose to do on New Year's Eve. Um, but we are back and we're going to be back for the foreseeable. On that note, probably going to start episodes are probably going to start coming out on Saturday. We're moving our schedule around like we do every off season, so just be prepared for that. But we're going to be hitting it hard. This is when our podcast starts to ramp up, even though the football season is really starting to die down. This is when we get super excited. We got the 2025 rookie draft or rookie tournament coming up. We've got a bunch of reviewing to do of the last season, so pretty pumped. You wanna kind of break down what we're doing today?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and I gotta say, 100%, the off season is our on season. So
Hmm.
we're definitely getting pumped up about the rookies and taking a look back. I like to review a few things and with that in mind, man, we spent a few episodes forecasting the season for 2024.
Hmm.
We went through the rookies, we did sleepers bust, some flag plants and guys we thought were being underdrafted, and then we also went through just a general top 12, looked at the guys that we thought would not make top 12 that were projected, and guys that would climb up to take the place of those that we slipped out. So we had a lot of really valid takes, and I think we owe it to ourselves to analyze the accuracy.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I'm excited.
Well, with that in mind, I mean, so the 12 in and 12 out.
Hmm.
So basically, yeah, we looked at the top 12 names and then we picked two people that weren't gonna, satisfy on the top 12 through the season.
Hmm.
And then we picked two guys that we thought would replace them. And for us, we picked in the wide receiver room. we picked Chris Olave
Hmm.
and Puka Nacua to not make it in the top 12.
Hmm.
So that was pretty impressive on our part because we nailed it. Puka was the wide receiver 21, and Chris Olave was the wide receiver 92.
Hmm.
And so obviously that was due to a lot of injuries and time missed. Puka on the weekly average was the wide receiver 6 on the year. So we kind of probably should not count that as a win.
Yeah.
But it was a fun episode. We kind of suggested guys, we each suggested guys, and then we picked together who would be in and who would be out. And I'd floated Justin Jefferson
Hmm.
as not making the top 12.
Good thing we didn't go there.
Yeah, and that's not exactly what happened. He was wide receiver too, and so I missed out on that. But as far as guys we thought would make it into the top 12, we picked DJ Moore,
Hmm.
who he ended up having a pretty decent year, made it to wide receiver 17.
It's not
So
terrible.
yeah, that was, I mean, the whole Chicago experience with Caleb, and it was kind of the offense, it was hard to watch, but like statistically and fantasy wise was pretty popping.
Yeah.
I in one of the leagues that I won, I went down the stretch starting both Keenan Allen and DJ Moore.
Oh, wow.
Just like, come what may. And they had some really pop games, and it was a lot of fun. So we didn't quite get that one right. We
Yeah, and
also
especially when you look at his points per game, he was like 30th too. So it's like
yeah.
a little even worse than 17th overall, but not far off. Our logic was definitely there with the whole Caleb Williams experience. It just went a little sideways from what we expected.
Yeah, and I believe I said some stuff about how I didn't think that Keenan Allen was going to have the kind of workload that he was
Hmm.
getting when he was in LA, and that proved to be fairly inaccurate. He ended up with about 120 targets, so
Gotcha.
that's pretty standard year for him. But the other guy we put in was DJ Moore, this or DK Metcalf, sorry.
Mm,
And I don't know. He ended up at the wide receiver 35,
yeah, not
but
great. The JSN revival was real.
yeah, I was going to say like I think we're on the right path. We just we as like I don't know if everyone was on this or not, but feels like that we kind of shorted JSN as far as like the bounce back from the rookie year. We were all pretty pumped about him, but then um I don't know. We kind of went DK and instead of realizing that JSN was the alpha there, I guess. He's a wide receiver 7 on the year, so
Yeah,
it was the right energy, just the wrong name.
wrong place. Yep. Which is crazy
But
because I was pretty high on JSN for his sophomore year, but I didn't think DK would fall off that hard either. I
yeah,
kind
and
of
I
just
think
was high on the Seattle experience.
right. Yeah, we had well, you actually you had like every position for Seattle except for the quarterback on this. Uh
Hey,
but it was fun. You also put in Rasheed Rice, which
could have
he was
worked,
yeah, if he hadn't got injured, he was at 14th on the average. So
but right
pretty
outside. Yeah.
you were on to something with that. I had Terry on there that I
Hey, and he
suggested.
made it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Wide receiver 7, and then I put Ridley in there, and listening back, yeah, probably not the best move, but I don't know when Ridley changed teams, but it was kind of late,
Yeah.
and so I don't even know. I think he might have still been with Jacksonville when I made that prediction. I have no clue. Anyway,
Uh,
Ridley,
I thought he was free agent. I feel like he would have been on the Titans by
oh,
that point. I think I recall you saying something about Will Levis
Will Levis. Oh
spreading it
yeah,
around.
of course.
So
Oops, that was a big miss for me this season, but so yeah, that was the wide receivers. The tight ends, this got a little kind of weird. I think we picked Pat Freiermuth to be in
in,
the top 12.
yeah. Which
Yeah.
hey, he made 11th.
he made it. So
So
all for it. And then we had Dallas Goddard to be out, and he definitely was out. So
he was out. I will say that one needs a slight asterisk as well, because in points per game he was 10th.
right.
But he just missed some significant time, which hey, we'll take it. Poor, bad for him, but it makes us look smart. But
Yeah.
he was averaging more points per game than Freiermuth. So
Yeah. No, and dude, I don't know. Dallas Goddard is kind of like I've got him on the for the belt roster, and
hmm
it's like he plays with your emotions, man. He's definitely
yeah.
a good football player, but not the best fantasy player
Well,
as far
with
as consistency.
Smith and Brown and Barkley there, and Jalen Hurts robbing touchdowns all the time too. Like it's just tough.
Yeah, it's a S show for
I'd be
sure.
super intrigued about Goddard if he ever went somewhere else.
Well, I guess maybe we'll find out. I don't know what his contract situation is, but felt like they're gonna keep him around.
Oh, I think
Be
so
crazy
too,
not to.
but just like, can you imagine him in, I don't know, Cincinnati?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Mike Gesicki, the way he's in the years, he's getting to that rookie hype that we
Yeah.
always had for him.
Yeah.
So it's
Finally.
never
Jesus.
too late.
It's never
But
too late. Sorry.
I won't mention the other guys that didn't get selected in the tight end room, but one of them was a Seattle player.
Hey.
But man, we really I'd say we did poorly at the quarterback position because we both picked Kirk Cousins to be in the top 12,
Hmm.
and he ended up at 22. And
That was tough.
it was a fun year. I mean, they heated up so like that the Mooney, like the first 4 weeks
Mm-hmm.
with the
It was
way
going
Mooney was
crazy.
playing, and it was nice, but but I don't know. I don't know, man. That the whole Atlanta thing is still disappointing, and now Penix
Hmm.
is playing, and I don't know. What's your take on the Penix thing? You got any?
I think, I mean, he's confident. He can definitely whip it in there. That late touchdown to Pitts last week was really nice. I'm intrigued about it. I don't know. Like I'm excited to see where it goes next year. Um, but it's not like mobility was ever his real thing either. So unless they improve that line, because Cousins just couldn't move, couldn't do anything outside of the
Right,
pocket. Now I think Penix is obviously way more mobile than Kirk Cousins is right now,
right.
but it's still not like his game, and I don't even know if he wants it to be his game. So they got to be able to give him time and get these guys more open. So I don't know. I'm definitely intrigued. I think. London is the big benefactor of that, and then I just think Bijan's gonna explode even more than he did this year. Next
Heck
year,
yeah.
kind of out on Pitts a little finally, but
Well, what a yeah, twist the knife with the Pits. That probably means that he's going to have a tight end one season next year, dude. These
of
tight
course he
ends are
is.
so hot and cold.
Well, I can't trade him anyway, so it'll be fine. He'll be on my roster if he starts popping off. So,
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I like that Penix. Like you're saying, he does do big plays well. Like he's like the
hmm
third down king. He's
hmm
got some work to do on first and second down, but when it's on the line, he comes through.
He's ready.
Uh, Dude, I thought it was nuts though because did you watch that game? It was the Washington Atlanta game, and
Bits and pieces of it.
they were talking about the two quarterbacks at like the same level, kind of for a second there, and I was like,
What
what are we
what are we
doing
doing
here?
here? Yeah.
But so yeah, apparently people are excited about Penix. I'm excited about him, but yeah, they were saying some crazy stuff, and it was too much. But um, I can say that we nailed it on the quarterbacks that weren't going to make the top 12.
Hey.
Yeah, so Derek, or sorry, Dak Prescott, yeah, and
hmm
Trevor Lawrence, like
Yep.
this,
And I know both of them got hurt, but both of them also points per game wise were not on track to make it anyway. We had Dak Prescott points per game at 19th
okay,
and Trevor Lawrence points per game at 22nd. So, I mean,
nice.
obviously they could have improved, you never know, but it's not like it was just injuries for that one that helped us.
Yeah, that whole Dallas squad, man, poor guys, poor guys. It's crazy. Week 18, does it mean anything? I don't know. Actually, yeah, it's gonna be fun. The
Yeah, it
Broncos
should be
and
fun.
the Chiefs
Broncos
play,
and Chiefs,
and then so
the
if the
Lions and
Broncos,
Vikings.
yeah, that's gonna be a good one. But I think that if the Broncos lose to the Chiefs and the Bengals win,
That'd be
there's a
way better.
chance that they get in.
I would
But I'm
much,
like, if I'm the Chiefs, like they already have the number one
yeah, do you
locked.
just punt that game?
Of course, like you have to.
You don't want the Bengals in.
No, no, man. They're like, we would rather play the Broncos for a third time than, yeah, no. So that's going
Well,
to be
Kansas
interesting.
City, you've taken the joy out of football for a lot of other fan bases by winning so much. Just give us the Bengals in the playoffs. How about that?
I
Just
think, yeah,
beat the Broncos. I don't want to watch this Broncos team.
no, you got a lot of hate for this Broncos team. They can't hear you though,
They
man. Not
can't.
from,
They
not
can't.
from where they're at, way up there. But all right, we'll get into the running backs real quick.
All right.
So, guys that we had going in, I talked into picking Ramondre Stevenson.
Mm.
Yeah, that dude, I have no idea what's going on with that. He's a RB 27. He got like benched multiple times,
Yeah,
and
what the hell's going on?
yeah, like for different reasons. It was like ball
Hmm.
security, and then it was like efficiency, and
I just don't fucking like you.
right. It's like, what are we doing here? They gave him that contract, made him, pretty well compensated,
Hmm.
and then they're just gonna treat him like ass, like he's the problem with that offense.
Yeah,
Like,
that
I
was
don't know,
crazy.
man. Whatever. So yeah, he didn't make it in. And then we had Kenneth Walker.
Mm.
So he ended up at the RB 25. But obviously he's missed some time. And
Yeah,
which
another guy who points per game wise, we would have barely nailed it. He was 12th in points per game. And so, I mean, he was definitely inconsistent. He had 3 games above 20, but then like 5 below 14. So he would have been kind of scratching that edge, but just the consistency and then the missing of 4 games kind of got us there.
Mhm. Yeah, and it was I don't know, man. I always get scared when I see these situations, like the JSN thing.
Hmm.
Um, because he just kind of took a foothold and ran with it. He had a kind of a slow start to the season and he just heated up throughout. And then now you see Charbonnet, dude.
Hmm.
It's not like he's not horrible. He's
Yeah,
had
he's
some good
good.
games. So, it feels like he could carve out the 1A, 1B. It's gonna be a bell cow killer. So I don't know. I don't know why I like watching the Seahawks, but they're a fun team.
Apparently, so
So
do I.
yeah, apparently, yeah, you had Noah Fant in there, so we don't want to
Yeah, I
talk about
did.
it. We'll just move right past it. But
That dream is finally dead. I know it was dead for everyone else like 2 years ago, but
nah, you can never give up, dude. Nah, it's a good time to give up. There's got to be a few players that took like 12 years to take off, right? Just can't remember them right now. But all right, so as far as we also, yeah, that was it. Those two. Um, out, we had Isaiah Pacheco.
nailed
So
it.
yeah, smoked that. Even, I mean, with the Kareem Hunt situation, even if
Hmm.
he had been healthy or whatever, he's like not getting any work right now. The
Mm-mm.
Chiefs have finally, I don't know, with Hollywood Brown back in there, it's like, yeah, they're high flying and doing the air things. So that's pretty exciting. And then we had Rashad White.
Yep.
He
Nailed
was
that one.
out.
Hmm.
The RB 20 with the RB 15 on his team with him. So
Yeah.
that's, I don't know, man. That's so we had 12 in, 12 out. It was kind of a fun exercise, and I just didn't want to let it exist without following
Yeah.
up.
No, I'm with you. I feel like we were better at picking who was going to come out than who was going to go in. But
Yeah, it was a weird, funky, weird season. I thought for sure the running backs were a little wild,
hmm.
and then the receivers were like chalk as hell. So it was kind of tough to get anyone in there.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was a fun little exercise though. But then we did the ring around a rookie.
Yep.
So in this segment, we were talking about guys we thought should be going a little bit higher than they were being drafted.
Hmm.
And First round, I think we both kind of nailed it. I had Brian Thomas.
Yeah,
At the time he was
crush
going at
that.
like the 1-7. And I don't know. I listened to my analysis and it was like he should be going over Jonathan Brooks.
Hey,
And yeah, I think it's worthy of
yeah, definitely. I mean, finishes the rookie wide receiver one.
yeah, no, wide receiver 4 on the year.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's pretty incredible. Actually, I don't know. We had a lot of good rookie wide receivers popping off this year, and none of them were named Marvin. So whatever. But then you had Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's pretty obvious. For our single quarterback for the belt, he went at the 112. Um, and he's a QB4 on the year, and I mean he's awesome. So
Yeah.
I don't think
Incredible rookie
there's
season.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I don't have I don't know, is the Stroud dip fears,
Yeah.
if you can even call it that. I don't know if people call it that. Um,
Sophomore slump.
the sophomore slump. Yeah, I mean when all your wide receivers get injured, it's kind of tough to keep it going.
True. And your offensive line sucks.
Absolutely. And Joe Mixon's the beast. So it's
Yeah.
been beautiful. Stroud, you can do it. All right. So in the second round, this got a little dicey for us. I went
Hey.
with Jalen Wright, who he went off at the 2-4 and for the belt, and he ended up at the running back 86.
Mm,
Um,
it's
just kind of
tough.
like, yeah, not a real thing at all. He never got really any traction.
Mm-mm.
Had some opportunities earlier, like Raheem was banged up, but like yeah, it just didn't work out. He got injured, I think, and just never took off to never really get on the field too much at all.
Yeah, and
So
with Achan playing the way he has been, it's gonna be tough to really ever see him get out there consistently. It sucks, man, because I pounded the table for him pretty hard, um, as well as the guy that I took
yeah,
in the ring around a rookie.
yeah, Marshawn.
Yep, Marshawn Lloyd just could not even see the field. Like I think he was on the field once and just kept getting hurt, and then he had appendicitis at one point. Uh, and then Josh Jacobs is just a beast and was phenomenal. So again, I don't know that we're gonna see much of Marshawn Lloyd, at least not right away, which is kind of a bummer because I really liked his talent coming out as well.
Yeah, I like this talent as well, but that's all right, man. It really gets tricky when I mean, it's I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. Going into this third round, for me, I feel like we had some opinions going into the NFL draft that were different than the NFL drafters.
Mm,
And I don't know. So we kind of had to adjust to draft capital, and players such as Bucky Irving
hmm
took a pretty big dip because of, I think it's a fourth rounder. So that wasn't really, I wanted him to get drafted a little higher than that because I believed in the talent. I put him down as my third round player that should have been drafted higher than he
hmm
was.
Nailed
Um,
that.
yeah, well, what I didn't nail was he got drafted at the 3-5 and I had the 3-4. So I probably
Oof.
should have just drafted him, actually
That's
drafted him.
tough.
I
Yeah.
thought he'd come to me because I think I had the 3-6. So it doesn't matter.
Ouch.
That was a heartbreaker. It's something I'm gonna have to live with the rest of my life. But he was a running back 15, and I knew it. Dude's a badass nightcrawler. So in the third round, you had Ray Davis, though.
Yeah, did all right whenever James Cook wasn't playing, but other than that, didn't really see the field. I liked him as a handcuff because I thought he would immediately be the second guy there, which was true. I mean, that worked. It's just James Cook kind of had a really good season and never really, outside of like a couple games, was on the field the whole time. But when he wasn't, Ray Davis looked good.
Yeah, he had that banger Monday night game at
hmm
one point. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So I'm with it. I'm with it. Let's see. Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. just looking. Yeah, Ty Johnson got a little feisty there for a second too. Kind of putting a wet blanket on him. Ty Johnson. I'll never understand it, but all right. Well, that was a ring around the rookie recap. And then we had the other segment where we went into the rookies. Did you did you want to tip this one off? Huh?
Yeah, so we did our flag plants at three, or I guess one. We had five flag plants,
Yep.
and then we did three sleepers, and then three busts for the rookie season. So I'll go ahead and get it started. My first flag plant um, wasn't going out too far on a limb, but I think what I specifically said was that he would be the best rookie wide receiver this year, and I had Malik Neighbors, which he did miss some games, finished slightly behind Brian Thomas Jr. But I think if he had played the full season, he would have edged him out or not quite a bit, but a little bit. Was the wide receiver six and the rookie wide receiver two, 18.3 points per game. So that was kind of exactly what I expected from him. He had a lot more catches than Brian Thomas Jr., but Brian Thomas Jr. did more with it. I think once there is a new quarterback with the Giants, I think you could really see Malik Neighbors take off. I mean, we saw what he did with Drew Lock last week, taking two long touchdowns to the house. So I still am all in on Neighbors, and flag is still firmly planted on that corner.
Well, that's a good call, man. Neighbors is awesome. I do think he is a quarterback away from definitely being a superstar, which I
Hmm.
mean, he managed to somehow be pretty, I don't know, a wide receiver one, even missing time and having Daniel Jones as his quarterback, which
Yep.
that's a heartbreaker. But all right, my first flag plant was Keon Coleman, baby.
Hey,
So I think I had some good takes earlier, and now we're back to the bad takes.
I
But
think this is a medium take, though. He looked good in short bursts, I
yeah,
thought.
absolutely. Yeah, and he's the wide receiver 71. He missed a good cross section of games in the middle of the season. He
Hmm.
hasn't quite got back to where he needs to be, but Um, he definitely looked good. He had some pop games, but he didn't step up to the plate in the way that I anticipated, kind of being like the wide receiver one for the team. But I
Hmm.
also didn't see Amari Cooper joining the Bills at that time. So I think he's
That's
got a
fair.
ton of potential. He's only got 4 touchdowns. I think that number could easily be uh, amped up here in the coming years, but
Yeah, it
I
wouldn't be
still like
surprising.
him. Still a flag plant. I'm not taking the flag out of the ground.
That's fair. I have my second flag plant was JJ McCarthy. That obviously ended in the preseason after some preseason hype, um, which that sucks. I mean, him getting hurt and then Sam Darnold playing lights out, it's leaving his future kind of in question. Um,
What the hell, man?
Sorry. Like you though, I still have my flag there. I like
Yeah,
McCarthy. I don't really know what's gonna happen now. Um,
no.
but but I still like him. And I think honestly, not after Sam Darnold really got going, all I could think was like, oh well, I wonder what JJ McCarthy would look like right now in this offense. Now, the Sam Darnold story did become too interesting to ignore. But yeah, I don't know. I still liked the fit with um the coaching staff up there and the weapons that he had and the offensive line that he had. And I'd still be looking forward to seeing him although after two knee surgeries in your first year, that's not amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've got Darnold there, and I don't know if Darnold ever comes back down to earth. I guess we'll see JJ, but it does kind of feel like I don't know. I didn't see that coming.
No,
Um,
not this
with
good. I was like,
Yeah,
okay, he might be decent or whatever, but yeah, this was crazy.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty good collection of wideouts, and the whole system is pretty awesome. But I mean, he's doing better than Kirk was doing
Yeah,
in
for
the
sure.
same system. So I don't know. I don't know. You can't ever get too excited, but we'll see how it goes. Um, okay, my second flag plant was Jaden Daniels. So
Hey, nailed
yeah,
that.
we're pretty good there. Dude, the guys, I don't know. I don't understand how this team is in such close games. But he's playing lights out. He's really got ice in his veins when it comes to closing out some of these games. It's been a ton of fun to watch. He's been top 10 in the quarterbacks for the last 5 weeks and top five for most of that stretch. So he had a bit of a dip with some tough matchups throughout the middle of the season, but I don't know what to say about him. The way him and Terry are working together, and he's like, I don't know, he's really resurrected Zach Ertz
Yeah.
in a major way. So, and even Crowder, like he's just like he doesn't care. He just finds something reliable and makes it outstanding. So I don't know. He seems like a real playmaker and whatever, man. Obviously, he's going to be pretty badass guy. Offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we were both kind of on that track that we were really into Daniels, and I wanted him to go earlier in the first.
Mhm.
So I'm 100% with you there. I'm glad that that worked out for you, and I'm excited to see what Daniels can do in the playoffs and in future years for sure. My third flag plant, this one I feel really good about. It was Lad McConkey.
Yeah.
Wide receiver 12 on the year, rookie wide receiver 3, 15 points per game. He's been in and out of the lineup a little bit, but he is clearly Herbert's number one target right now, and I don't really see that going anywhere. I mean, they might bring in like a bigger body to help Herbert out. They definitely need more weapons than just Lad, but honestly, that could help him out anyway because he's already doing it as the number one guy, and his just ability to get open and make tough catches. Yeah, I don't know. I was super in on Lad, and it's good to see him work out.
Yeah, no, he's playing really well. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I don't really cheer for the Chargers too hard with
That's fair.
Harbaugh and everything, but I do I do not like to watch the same team like struggle year after year, you know?
Hmm.
And so with all the talent and what Herbert has to offer, it is nice to see them you know, kind of just refresh that roster. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams gone, but then, just immediately fill that void without struggling too hard. So that's cool to see. But if you want to talk about struggling too hard, my next guy is Roman Wilson,
Yeah,
who doesn't have any stats on the year at all.
that's tough.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to change the name of the podcast
The
from
Roman
the
Wilson
Roman Wilson.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. He's
And
he's definitely on IR. He's just
been on IR like all year.
yeah, just whatever. I don't know. They
Yeah,
they don't need him.
he was my fifth flag plant. So yeah, I was right there with you. We were big Roman Wilson boys. So hopefully he can get healthy. Pittsburgh does need a number two, so hopefully he can still be that. But yeah, that did not go well. Neither did my fourth flag plant of Jalen Wright.
No.
You
Yeah.
kind of mentioned it earlier, but he had 1.9 points per game, and Devon Achan just took everything, and was awesome and didn't go anywhere. So it's tough. I still like Wright and his ability, but it's not looking great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, not looking great is a good way to for me to round out my flag plants. I had Malachi Corley,
Mm.
which I really did like the guy, but
He almost scored a touchdown, and
yeah.
he did the
Oh
goofy
my God, he
ass
did
drop
the
it,
stupid drop thing.
and then
That
we
would have
never
like
saw him
doubled the
again.
stats for the year. Seriously, as far as like fantasy points, it was stupid, but um I don't know. I think that there's a lot going on in New York that
Yeah.
I don't think can really be spoken on. Like as far as projecting the future, I do think Corley is a gritty player that can get it done. I just don't think the vibe is right.
Hmm.
in New York, and I don't think I'm, that's not earth-shattering stuff, but yeah, it is what it is. And then I also had another Jet. I had Braylon Allen, who
Mm.
big fan of. He's the RB 52 on the year. And he was also kind of underwhelming. Yeah, I mean, he proved that he was compatible with, NFL
Hmm.
football, play. Had a nice little start to the season, but that whole team just kind of got washed out, and then Devontae Adams joined the house, and they switched kind of the style to be just hyper targeting Wilson and Adams, and Allen never really got a foothold on the 1B type work that I was hoping he would.
Hmm.
But I still got hope for him in the future. I have no idea what the Jets are going to look like going forward. I cannot believe that Aaron Rodgers will be back next year, and I can't imagine what kind of coaching situation they're going to end up in. But
Yeah.
that's just one of a few teams that's going to need a coach next year. So
Yeah.
I don't
It'll
know.
be interesting to see what happens with them, and Allen is so young as
Yeah.
well. So we can get into some sleepers now. My first sleeper was a tight end. It was Theo Johnson as
Yeah.
far as rookie sleepers. And I mean, he was the rookie tight end too, but that's not saying a lot. It wasn't a crazy class. He had flashes, looked okay. The Giants' offense was just terrible. But I will say that like he did seem like he could be a tight end in this league in his rookie season. Kind of similarly to your guy or your first sleeper as well. But I'm still like, intrigued about Theo going forward. Had a fairly underwhelming or mediocre rookie season, but not terrible.
Yeah, on a team that was struggling, he wasn't overcoming it,
Hmm.
like Malik Neighbors was. But I think he's a player that we both like, and he definitely showed promise and ended up missing, the last quarter of the season injured. But there's no real answer for that team at the tight end position after, the Darren Waller thing. Um, and so I think they got enough between him and Bellinger that they could just keep rolling with it.
Hmm.
But I liked him. But you mentioned my guy. I had Jatavion Sanders.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. He's a young guy too. He's only 21. He was there, the third rookie the tight end 36, but he had some like really nice games through the middle of the
Hmm.
season.
Yeah.
There was like some heavy target share, and he was just extremely pretty reliable as far as like catching everything that was going his way. But he only had the one score, so he never really popped off as far as the stats go, and he wasn't hyper targeted.
Hmm.
So I think it's maybe you could say it's underutilized, but he was efficient with the what he did get. He had 10 yards per catch, which is pretty good for a tight end, and he was kind of one of those flashier athletic tight ends more so than like a blocking tight end, hybrid receiver. I don't want to say Isaiah Likely, but kind of in that vein. So
Yeah, I hear you.
um, I think he can develop for sure into something nice.
Yeah, and I mean Carolina started to heat up a little, and he was getting some of that work. So I don't think they're going to be digging for a tight end really this offseason. So I think he's got the chance to kind of establish himself more. So I like Theo. I think he showed some flashes enough to get you excited.
Yeah.
Um, my second sleeper was Jalen McMillan, who here he's just been flashy and up and down, but I mean, in championship weekend, he did have over 20 points on a depleted Buccaneers roster. So it was good to see, and I think he flashed enough to get you excited. I really do. It's just he wasn't there consistently, which is a little worrisome. But I mean, based on who he was behind at first, that made sense. But then when Godwin went down, it would have been cool to see McMillan kind of step into a bigger role. But
Yeah.
he did heat up a little and have a good he has good weeks, but just not consistent enough to get you truly excited, but still quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I was excited about him. And I still am. One thing I know I've talked a lot about the Washington Husky wide receivers and everything, and I definitely liked him quite a bit. I'll get into bus later. I don't have to get too deep on it right now. But you have to admit that Roma Dunze had 140 fantasy points, give or take, this year, and Jalen McMillan had 116.
Mm.
So you got to consider that to be a success, given the expectation and the draft capital. So I'd say that for a sleeper, he definitely should have been on the radar and wasn't as far as draft capital and expectations. So
Mhm.
bada bing, I'll give you it. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
Much better than my number two sleeper,
Oof.
who was Malik Washington.
We were big fans
Uh,
of Malik in the off
dude,
season.
love me some Malik. Yeah, I was listening back to that episode. I was talking about how OBJ wasn't gonna be consistently on the field. I nailed that
You did.
apparently.
You did.
So I don't know if that was a popular take or if I was the only one saying it, but yeah, OBJ, no way, no way. So that being said, Washington he's up in the 87% snap share the past few games.
Mm.
And it was like 59 percent the week prior to that. So um he's starting to get a hold of some of that workload. And in a weak Waddle year and Tua, I don't even know. It's a sad year in Miami. I think this is the kind of guy that they can feel confident leaning on going forward if they have to, trade Tyreek or whatever happens in Miami. So I'm still keeping an eye on him as for sleeper potential.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's going to be interesting. We were both really big fans of him, and his ability to create plays after the catch, and that could still be utilized for Miami. But yeah, just kind of a weird year for them. So hopefully he can bounce back next year. But he, as bad as he was, um, my next sleeper averaged -2 points per game.
Yeah.
So that's pretty bad. Dylan Labe barely ever saw the field for the Raiders, which is crazy because they just had a myriad rotating, a nonsensical wheel of running backs, and he couldn't make the field. So that's a little
Sincere McCormick,
disappointing.
dude.
Sincere McCormick, Alexander Mattinson, uh, Zamir White.
Oh, jeez.
Who's the other one that always pops up in our life randomly? Uh, Amir Abdullah,
Oh,
all these
yeah.
guys,
Abdullah. Jesus.
uh, just just crazy. And then Labe just couldn't really make the field, so that was pretty disappointing. And even for a guy I kind of threw out as a sleeper, but yikes.
Yeah, it turns out that New Hampshire University is not churning them out. But hey, man, I'm excited for the Dylan Labe retread that is Scattaboo, man. So
Hey, there we go.
gonna be a little different, but definitely gonna deliver a little better than anyway. So my third sleeper was Audric Estime, who ended up as the running back 71. And I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
I'm upset about it because I think that he's looked really good on the field. He's just not getting any love, and it's like it's like a three-legged horse there with your you've got Jaleel McLaughlin, and then they're still trying to make the ghost of Javonte Williams play
Mm.
football. And it's pretty legit, but he's just he's just not really sticking. So I don't know what to say about him. I still think he's a good football player. He just hasn't been given the opportunity.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's had some great efficiency, just just not getting the numbers. So
Well,
it
luckily
is what it is.
he's a rookie, so hopefully we can get him back on the field
We can
next
be
year
optimistic.
with the with the Broncos. But yeah, it was a little disappointing for sure. Speaking of disappointments, let's get into some busts real quick before we head out of here.
Yep.
I had Xavier Legette, who, to be fair, showed some flashes, showed some inconsistencies on like a not great offense, but as the offense started to heat up, he didn't really heat up that much with it. But I don't know, he's kind of in the same vein to Jalen McMillan. They're right around the same area in terms of where they finished. One was wide receiver 61, one was 63, according to Fantasy Pros. So I don't know. There's hope for Leggett, but as a first round pick, that's not really what you want to see. So that kind of does make him a bust.
Yeah, he's in that Keon Coleman area
Hmm.
where it's like, oh, not a horrible rookie year, but first round picks, dude. Like we want to see
Hmm.
wanting to see these these JSN type guys. Now, that kind of just lets you know that they could do anything their second year, but they definitely when we're talking about we had three rookies in the top 12,
Hmm.
like that's incredible. So these guys are definitely letting us down in comparison. Um, but yeah, I think Leggett, who knows, man. I don't really I don't really know. He didn't overly impress me, but I thought he was a decent football player. So
Hmm.
we'll see how it goes. But I got some Jalen Polk action, man.
Yay.
Yeah, calling the bus. I don't know why I'm so aggressive about Jalen Polk and just doubting him, but so far so good. He was the wide receiver 127 with only 32 fantasy points. So
Jeez.
um you got to feel good about that. I don't really know. It seems like Drake May's going to be doing just fine,
Hmm.
and that offense is going to figure out something, but I don't know.
If Polk's going to be
Like,
a part of
yeah,
it.
yeah, it's hard to say for sure.
That's fair.
So, eh,
I my next guy, I went with Trey Benson. I
yeah,
thought he was getting a lot of hype, and now with James Conner getting hurt, maybe it will lean into next season. But the fact that James Conner's hurt and Michael Carter's getting the start this week, um, I know that they can't make the playoffs, but that I don't know why you don't start the rookie unless he's hurt, unless I miss.
yeah. I think he's on IR.
Oh, okay, Benson. Well, that makes a lot more sense. So, never mind. But still didn't really do much. RB 68, 3.6 points per game. He had like a week where he looked okay. But you never know going forward. Connor might finally be going away. But I believe didn't they sign him?
Yeah, they gave him extension in season.
Yeah, so I don't know how great I feel about Benson at this point. Um,
Listen, dude, I just bought a James Conner jersey,
nice.
so we don't need him going anywhere. Got to
That's
keep
fair.
him right where he's at for a minute.
Hell yeah. Was it the white one?
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
Yeah. So I won two jersey leagues this year, so I'm
Hell
gonna get
yeah.
some new threads around here.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, I felt like I don't know. I wasn't cheering against Benson because I got a ton of James Conner shares, but I was definitely not crying over the struggles. So um, yeah, he did not really have any traction whatsoever. So we'll see what happens. I'm not really too worried about it. The Cardinals are still figuring it out. It's kind of tough to watch. But hey, me and you, Blake Corum was a
Hey.
bust on my list. So
Ooh.
yeah, that was pretty awesome. It looks like he was the running back 79, baby.
Woof.
So 79, 80, whatever, right in that range. And he didn't do jack, man. And
Mm-mm.
like he's been active, like he's in the active roster. He's gotten a handful of carries per game. But like, yeah, he's not doing anything with it. And I don't know.
Oh
When you're
man,
playing with Kyron
crazy.
Williams, it's like,
The guy that scored a million touchdowns from 6 inches away d
Hmm.
didn't start creating in the NFL. Man, wild.
It's
Who could have
really
seen that
strange.
coming?
They should have put him on the Eagles. Those guys seem to need a lot of 6-inch touchdowns. That would have been his calling.
Yeah, it would have been nice for him to watch Jalen Hurts get those.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, um, well, we were doing
Uh-oh.
pretty good on the busts, and then our third bust for
Yeah,
each
we
of us
both.
kind of went wild. Mine was Bo Nix. If you've listened to the podcast, you know about my rivalry. It's not a rivalry. He doesn't know who the fuck I am. My um distaste for the Bo Nix
I think
tape.
you just don't like Sean Payton, okay?
Well, that, but I didn't like Bo Nix's tape coming out.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
He has been impressive. He looks good. I mean, the Cincinnati game that he just recently had, he really kept them in that game and ended as the QB9, a rookie QB2, 18 points per game. So that's really all you can ask for a
Good.
guy that was the sixth quarterback off the board. So pretty crazy. I have to eat a lot of crow on that one, but maybe not as much crow as you have to eat right now.
Well, that's true. Just know that if you lose the fresh duds ever again, you get another Broncos jersey.
Ah, for fuck's sake.
So just have to keep that in mind. But yeah, Crow, it's the name of the game, baby. I put Brock Bowers.
Mm,
Tight end one.
mm.
Um, yeah. What are you gonna do? What do you want me to say? I said it and I'll say it again. Aiden O'Connell, you got Gardner Minshew. Did not foresee the Adams trade opening up like the treasure chest of targets for Brock, but I never doubted the player. I just doubted the situation. And
For sure.
man, these guys are just like they're walking on water, man. Him and neighbors, like these guys are just they're like, we don't give a fuck, dude. This is a football field, right? It doesn't matter what my jersey says. It doesn't matter who's throwing me the ball. I'm just gonna go out there and make it happen. And
Yep.
it's amazing, man. Like these guys are outstanding. It's been a really, really fun rookie class to
It really
follow.
has.
I don't know, man. I mean, obviously we got juices flowing for next year. Maybe we get a fucking running back out of next year's class. Who knows?
Hey, maybe.
But
Should.
yeah, I mean, what
At
Bucky
least
Irving's the
one.
best we got.
Yeah, holy shit.
So that's rough.
But yeah, so there you have it. There was our some of our predictions and how they went going into last year. So we're gonna be hitting that time of the year where we start predicting stuff. Maybe not quite yet there yet, but it is exciting times, and you know we will always keep it real and tell you what we got wrong as well as what we got
Exactly.
right. And
We-
when we look like big idiots, like benching or calling the tight end one and the QB9 busts. That's
Hey
what we
man,
do at
you
here
gotta
at
shoot your
RDR.
shot. You go with your heart. We're not doing popular takes. We're doing what we see.
Yep.
A little
Yes.
contrarian,
Not
as it
always
were.
right.
And yeah, you can't be right 100% of the time, but I think it was fun. I think we
It
had
was fun.
some good insight and man, it's crazy to make these kind of predictions without seeing them on an NFL field, and I think we're okay at it.
Yeah, we're all right. Hopefully we'll be getting better and seeing more. I'm excited to really dive into the film this year. I have a lot less
Yes.
going on in my life personally, so hopefully that will translate to better takes. But if you like this kind of stuff, please like, share, and subscribe, all that nonsense. But until then, we've been Rough Draft Research. You've been the audience, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, have a good life, everybody. We'll catch you on the flip side.
To release that on your heart.